Hey, JB here. We are getting ready to kick off today's start of our super promo for all of you to take on the next level of the AI employee. We're just getting our system set up here. But what I want you to do is get your area set up. Your pen, paper, cup of coffee, tea, water. Get yourself situated. If you normally work off of your tablet or your laptop, grab a supplemental screen, put it right next to you, stream off of that screen, because we're going to ask you to be hands-on with us as you're navigating what you're learning and what you're seeing here. I'm going to go ahead and get this started here. Looks like we got some folks chiming on in. If you could let me know if you can hear me, see me clearly, it would be awesome. And we're going to get a big part of the questions answered around how to leverage social media done today. And Haplin, man, you've been all over the globe. It's good to see you back in the seat. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. It's great to be here. I'm super happy to dive into some of this content.
Yeah, man. And Haplin, for those that don't know Haplin, he's been around here for about a year now, and he's been behind the scenes early on building these playbooks from scratch. And the last couple of months, we've been tag teaming and sharing these playbooks with you in this format here. So if it's your first time, let me know in the comments below. It's my first time joining and tuning in. If you're returning, welcome back and thank you so much. We're going to go over many resources, many instructions for you to take full advantage of the AI social media handler workshop. And with that being said, with all of our workshops here, we're going to be going over different components of HighLevel, from a sales and strategy to a technical. And a lot of this is going to get you excited and pumped up to get started. And we want to make sure that you're aware that results may vary. And the past performance is not a guarantee of future performance. And HighLevel does not guarantee that you'll experience financial gain or generate revenues. Results will vary from there. And I just want you to know that you have support to help you along the way. So if you run into a roadblock or two, don't worry. We're going to run over. We're going to run by you. We're not running you over. We're going to run by you where to go for help, live, chat, or in a group setting. And if we haven't had a chance to meet yet, I'm JB. I'm your host. And I'm going to be guiding all of you through here with the comments, with the questions, as well as learning with you alongside what Haplin's teaching us on what is key to get our AI handler up and running. And with that being said, I want to introduce to you our special guest, Haplin. I kind of give him a little bit of an intro, but it's nothing like the one he gives himself. Haplin, for those that don't know you, do you mind sharing just a punch or two of why they should be awake, well, and ready to jump in the ring?
Yeah, totally. So you can see some of my bio on the screen there. I've got some agency experience. I've got a master's degree, and I've been using HighLevel for almost 7 years now. But really, what my job here at HighLevel is just to make HighLevel really easy and put presentations and educational content together, showing people just how easy it is to succeed with it. So if you're on this call and maybe you've logged into HighLevel once or twice, you've clicked around, or maybe you haven't been able to see success with it because it is just such a huge platform with so much going on, then you're in the right place, because today I'm going to give you a really fast, really simple, straightforward, focused use case for how you can move forward and succeed with HighLevel. So I don't want to jump the gun there, but it is just to say that it's what gets me out of bed in the morning. The thing that I'm really passionate about is taking things that seem really complicated and just turning them into really simple, easy ways to move forward. So that's what I'm excited to do in this job, and that's what I'm excited to do today.
Yeah, and every time, Happily, we get to hang out here on live, I learned so much because it's a different angle, a different level of experience, and I'm just very grateful for what you do. And for those of you that are on YouTube, you're looking at videos, you're trying to really figure out HighLevel. Here's what I'll say. You got to go onto the HighLevel YouTube. So youtube.com/@GoHighLevel, and you'll see a handful of videos that Haplin's put together on how to walk you through this step by step, as well as some of our other workshops and events, all to say that this is all from HighLevel, and we're doing our best to kind of give it to you direct so you could take action, right? So if you haven't been there, make your way there after this event. And more importantly, we got so many new friends here. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Are you within the United States, Canada, Germany, France, Australia, wherever you're from, East Coast, West Coast? from a small village, big village, New Jersey, New York, oh, Colorado, like wherever you're at, let us know in the comments below. Because here's what we usually like to do: we like to engage and have networking experiences. So the folks that are commenting below, you may make a friend or two. You may find your future business partner. So make sure you introduce yourself if you are accepting and open to people networking with you. And as we are letting those comments come in, let's keep this energy rolling and flowing. Haplin, I know I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. I
Mhm.
know while you're getting ready to share yours, I know that a handful of people are always having questions about AI. And they're like, I don't know what, if I, if I'm too late, should I be starting now? When was a good time to start? What do I do? You're going to cover a lot of that in the AI employee playbook that you've created from scratch. And you'll share with us how to find that. But for those of you that have already been familiar with HighLevel, let us know in the comments, how long have you been using HighLevel for? How long have you been using HighLevel for? And for those of you that are brand new, buckle up because Haplin's going to tell us what you need to know about HighLevel and take it from here.
Okay, yeah. So, like JB said, we do have a lot of supplemental content for this workshop. The replay will be available, but we also have some awesome playbooks on the topics that I'm going to cover, and I'm going to make sure that you have access to that. Before we dive in, this little slide called Why Listen to Us just share a little bit about what high level really is, what we've been able to accomplish. We're currently serving 80,000 plus marketing agencies, and beneath them, a total of over 1.5 million businesses as their clients, right? So end users, 1.5 million. We're growing very fast. 622 million plus leads, 14.7 billion plus conversations. And this stat isn't on the slide, but we've processed over $16 billion through our platform. So that's $16 billion that we've made for the companies using high level. Pretty cool stat. And so we're going really fast. And like I said, we've got some awesome resources for you guys. If you get nothing else from this whole workshop, just know that this is just your entry point. Takeaway is that we've got so much here to help you with your journey, way more than we're even going to cover today. First of all, you can get live help with our team. We have got 24/7 live Zoom support here. Even if you're just on a trial, we invite you to get on what's called a kickoff call. So click on this link that'll be in the chat, speak with us /live dash walkthrough. That will, as long as you have a high level account, even if you're still on a trial, you can just get on a one-on-one call with our support team to talk through your situation and start taking you through some of the most fundamental, basic, foundational setup pieces that at most every high level account needs. So that's our way of kind of like really coming alongside you and making sure that you're starting to build momentum inside of high level. We try to get a good conversation with every single person who comes in, which is very unique for a software company. Beyond that, as JB mentioned, my role is not just to talk to you guys here on the stream, but also to create courses. We have digital playbooks going through specific topics. In fact, we have a whole university with a whole library of playbooks on all the different topics in high level. And there are two that are particularly relevant for social media. One is the social media manager playbook. Then that covers a topic that we're not going to touch on so much. I'll make reference to it for sure. But then the one that's hyper relevant to this specific workshop is the AI social handler playbook. It's the local hero playbook on AI social handlers. And so I'll show you guys how to get access to that, or you should already have access to that. And I will show you where to go to make sure that you can watch that, because it's a great series of videos. It's going to cover a lot of the same content that I'm covering today, but it's just kind of in a different format. There's a different vibe, more of a classroom setting type tone. So different people connect to different ways of learning. Some people will get everything they need from this stream right here. Some people will want to watch the replay, and some other people may want to go through the course at their own speed. So that's just drop in the bucket of the live support and resources and product education. We also do a ton of other things in our community, in our private Facebook group. JB is running all sorts of initiatives from spotlight sessions and master classes and boot camps and challenges. And we've got everything that new high level users need to start making connections with other high levelers, starting to build community here, getting support and encouragement. That is a huge piece of success in with any kind of business endeavor, really, is to have the right support. So we're here for you for that. Now let's talk about this. Let's talk about the AI social media handler. Who is this workshop for? Like I said, I'm going to be trying my best to take things that seem complicated or seem confusing or paralyzing and turning them into very simple concepts that are actionable, that start to build momentum with our mindset. So, very straightforwardly, anyone involved in or in a small business that wants to use an AI social media rep and get measurable results. So, if you're doing business on social media, or if you have a client or a prospect or an opportunity to work with a business that's doing business on social media, then there's an opportunity to benefit from this. So let's talk a little bit more about what we're going to be covering. Today we're going to be talking about the overview and positioning, just kind of getting a lay of the land of what this offer is all about. And then day 2 is going to be all about exactly what buttons to click. So that's my other favorite thing to do, is just showing you exactly what buttons you need to click. You don't have to be able to write code. We don't have to learn to develop our own anything, really. We just need to know what buttons to click. That's my mindset as an entrepreneur trying to use software. I'm always trying to learn. Just tell me what buttons to click. That's going to be day 2. Day 1, overview and positioning. So let's get straight into it. Why AI social media handlers? Why should every business that's doing business on social media, anybody who has a presence on social media, be interested in an AI social handler? This relates to a problem. In order to answer that question, I'm going to talk about this problem that a lot of small businesses experience. Local, digital, any type of small business. So many of them that I have seen based on my agency experience, based on what we see in the community, they have this problem that really needs solving. And some of them don't even know it. It is called the problem of the leaky bucket. Small businesses pour a lot of resources into social media services. They hire an agency to do creative for them. They outsource their content, or they have different tools for like scheduling their posts and trying to track engagement. And or they're just putting a lot of resources. Maybe they have a hire into a social media manager and different platforms, etc. They're investing in their social media presence. They do organic management, engagement analytics. Oh, they try to partner with people, do like influencer or like ambassador programs, try to get promoted by other people. They hire headhunters to go join different groups and try to troll for opportunities in there. Basically, they do anything to get their business noticed on social media. They're willing to do anything, right? And they pay through the nose for this. However, at best, this just gets views or engagement or sometimes clicks, right? And that's just not quite good enough. We say yay very flippantly to that, because look at this graph. They don't have the tools to actually drive pipeline success. A lot of businesses look something like this, where they're really invested in that front end, in those top of funnel marketing activities, and it makes them look good, makes them feel good, but they don't actually necessarily make sales from that. It's not sustainable. They're going to run out of steam really fast, and many of them are like shooting stars, right? They burn out. And this is the problem of the leaky bucket, because you can get a lot of views, a lot of comments, a lot of engagement, whatever it is that you're looking for. Even a post can go viral. But then when you don't have the tools to convert, to actually meaningfully tie that activity to the rest of the sales process, connecting those dots, what you find is that it's like a bucket of water with a lot of holes in it. Imagine you're going to the well to fill up the bucket, and you're going to try to, come back inside and fill up your sink with water. If you have a bucket that has holes in it, when you go fill it up, by the time you get back to your kitchen, your bucket's only it started this full, but it's leaked out, right? There's only this much water in it by the time you get there. That's a metaphor for like a sales pipeline. We had a bucket full of water, a lot of people engaged with the post on social media, but by the time we got to the point of trying to convert them as a lead, or trying to make some kind of a sale, or drive some kind of meaningful movement down a pipeline, what we found is that that bottom number, that revenue number even is nothing by the end of it. And so it turned out that all that water we filled in the bucket was kind of wasted, right? So, as social handlers solve this, we are going to be patching up the bucket. And patch bucket, then all of a sudden, those by the time it gets into the kitchen, and the business is going to be really happy, not just with its social media activity, but with the results that actually become the business results, the revenue, the appointments, leads, and sales that to make based on that activity. What we're going to try to do here, social media handlers are a pivotal step, a very, very easy way to start addressing this because they're going to handle all the DMs for us. So imagine it's like a sales rep, but it's AI side of the messengers for Facebook and Instagram. Those of us right now, hopefully, we'll be able to have more in the future, but they're the most important ones. It's Meta. It's huge, and it's a very big deal, and a lot of businesses doing business on these platforms. AI is going to handle all our DMs for us, answer questions, share resources, grant offers, set appointments, even make sales depending on the price point. If it's lower ticket, they can, share a promo code and try to make a sale right on the spot. In general, it's going to drive pipeline movement. And this really unlocks some potential for businesses who use social media because it's not just like the inbound one or two messages every month is now going to get responded to, but it actually changes the way you're able to strategize your posting, right? Your content strategy, because as you'll see, we'll be able to do awesome things like comment keyword automation. So when somebody comments a certain way, we actually instigate the conversation. So it can also start conversations with people in our audience on those channels. And then it changes the way that we invite people to DM us, right? When we know that someone is there to take good care of every lead that comes in, we're way more likely to put that in our bios, to put that in calls to actions. We want to be like plastering it all over our accounts that we want people DMing us, and that's going to encourage more and more DMs. So it changes the strategy for us to have this step in between a post and a meaningful like lead generated or an appointment set or whatever. To have this as an intermediary step is so important because it gives us a way to put it on autopilot, scale our conversations, know that they're going to be taken care of without any extra effort or input on our part. So that's
Kaplan.
kind of the gist of that. JB, did you want to jump in really quick?
Yep. I had a question for you.
Okay. Yeah, shoot.
So, if somebody is not using the social media planner, or they are using the social media planner, is this different than the social media planner?
Great question. So there's two main features that are related to social media. Actually, there's three, but let's just focus on the two. What JB is talking about, guys, is what's called the social planner. There is a whole space inside of High Level, a whole feature inside of High Level where you can integrate a social media account and then actually create posts and post to your social media account from inside of High Level. And that comes with a bunch of awesome benefits like calendars and queues and scheduling and posting to multiple channels at once. You can actually control like 8 different social media accounts from there: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, I think Pinterest, TikTok. So it's way, way bigger than just this AI social handler, which only deals with Facebook and Instagram. But it's a great way to actually manage the content, get amazing analytics out of it. Tracking and analytics, that's a whole different software side of things that a lot of businesses really need that the social planner covers. We have a full playbook on just the social planner itself, how to actually take over the content management. This workshop and the AI social media handler playbook focus more on using AI to handle the conversations inside of the DMs. So Great question. High level tackles both and does a fantastic job of it. I'm going to be making reference to the social planner because they do go hand in hand. But at the end of the day, the main topic for this content is going to be the AI conversationalist, the AI sales rep that lives inside of your accounts and handles conversations for you. Does that make sense?
Well, it absolutely does. And I just want to make sure because some people will say, I don't use the social media planner. So then this is not for me. So this is for you, whether you use it or not. It is a separate component. That's my takeaway on this. Um, I know we still have the AI employee summer of AI incentive going on until the end of the month. Is the AI employee pay as you go or unlimited incentive required for this to work?
Yeah, it's gonna work either way. I'm actually gonna go over some of the costs, some of the nuts and bolts,
Oh, great.
the
Okay,
devil's
cool.
in the details with these things, and we're
Cool.
gonna cover all of that in like 2 slides from now. So, I'll just
I
jump
love
back
it.
into it, and we will answer that question as we go.
One
But
last question here for the
yeah,
audience. If
mhm.
you have comment below if you already have the AI employee playbook snapshot installed already. Do you have the AI employee playbook snapshot installed already? Comment below that you have it installed. If you don't know where to get the AI employee playbook snapshot, comment where do I get the AI employee playbook snapshot, and we'll get you those instructions. Haplin, thanks for answering those questions. They were popping up here pretty consistently, and I didn't want to lose any of our audience because of any confusion or you know how it goes.
Totally, yeah, interrupt me at any time because this is about you guys. This is about
Well,
helping make
um,
sure that
but if you're gonna say that, I'm gonna ask you. No, I'm only kidding. I'm
Yeah,
only
maybe famous last words, right?
kidding.
But it's true. At the end of the day, like this workshop is about helping folks who are watching it, right? So this is about you in the audience, making sure that you have what you need, not just to be able to succeed with high level materially, like you have everything that you need, but that you have your questions answered, that you have confidence built, that you know what the next step is for you. So, I can cast the biggest vision about all the success you're going to have months down the road or whatever. But if you don't know the next step that you're going to take, literally, what is my next step? That's the most important one. I could sacrifice all that other stuff in order to give you the clarity on what your next step is. So let's continue focusing on that. But with this whole leaky bucket problem, when we have a good way to catch all of these engaged people, all these people who check us out, sorry, one second. Let me just go to my focus mode so I don't get distracted. There we go. When you catch all these people who are engaging with your social media, then you have a more reliable conversion. And we go from something that looks like this sad sales funnel, to something that looks like this. Obviously, you're not going to ever convert 100% of people, but there's going to be some meaningful percentage of people that actually get involved in your sales process based on that post that they saw, inviting them to comment or inviting them to DM you to sate their curiosity about your business. That AI social handler is going to catch them, build trust with them. That's another huge part of this whole thing, being able to have a conversation with a business on a platform like this and actually get a response is huge. Not just for us in terms of efficiency and trying to convert, but it's huge for the customer too, because they start to build trust in the buyer psychology experience, in the buyer journey. When you see a post that invites you to DM the business and then you DM them and then they respond within 5 minutes with meaningful answer to your question or meaningful engagement, continuing that conversation, that is so big for when it comes time for that customer to then choose between business A and business B. Business A took 3 days to get back to them or never got back to them at all. Business B got back to them in 5 minutes with trust building conversation. It's a no brainer that they're going to go this direction. So the rest of the sales pipeline benefits from us connecting with the people who come into the DMs, and even gives us the ability to start those conversations. And on behalf of the business, we can actually instigate a conversation with our AI social handler as well. So this graph right here is the mecca of what we're going for, just in terms of being able to connect the dots between social media activities that businesses are already spending thousands per month on sometimes, just to try to get noticed on social media, connecting the dots to the rest of the sales process in a meaningful way that helps increase conversions at every step and helps justify that investment. So that's it. That's all that we're doing here. If we can go from this to this, then we win. We have a scalable business, whether you're using this in your own business or you're going to be setting this up for someone else's business, a client's, if you're trying to build an agency around this service, all we got to do is go from this to this, and that's it. So that's all we're going to be focused on for the rest of this whole workshop. That said, let's get into some of the costs and thinking through the value proposition of this from an entrepreneurial standpoint. We are going to be using conversation AI. This is the question that you asked earlier, JB, about how to pay for this. Does this work paying it this way, that way, etc.? There are a couple different options, and the devil's in the details. So let's just tackle it really quick. You can pay as you go with this conversation AI feature for 2 cents per message, or you can pay 97 a month for unlimited. Don't break your brain. I did the math for you. I'll save you the time. The break even point is exactly 4,850 messages. But it is a little bit more complicated than that because when you go unlimited with the AI employee inside of HighLevel, you get access to unlimited AI features across the whole AI employee suite. So that includes AI funnel building, AI review replies, AI content generation, copy and images for websites, blogs, emails, etc. What else we got in terms of AI uses? Voice AI, having somebody call in a live phone number and have a live conversation with an AI agent. That is a huge, huge feature. We did a whole super promo and virtual workshop on that in June. I highly recommend you check out that playbook. There's a lot of ways to use AI inside of HighLevel, and all of them are really powerful and effective. So, that's to say, because when you go unlimited, you get access to all of them. It's not so simple as just a mathematical break even point. If you think you might benefit from some of the other AI features, it may be really the right thing to do for you to go unlimited rather than paying as you go for the sake of getting access to the rest of that AI suite as well. Those other AI features have pay as you go options as well. So you could pay as you go across all of them, but then really the break even point, you understand what I'm saying, right? It's about not just conversation AI, but it's about the whole AI employee. But that said, if you are just doing this AI social handler, you're just got the blinders on, you want to stay focused, start small with this entry point into the broader HighLevel ecosystem. I commend you for that. That makes a lot of sense. I want you to stay focused and not feel like you're going to get lost in the weeds, paralyzed by all the different opportunities, because there's a lot of stuff you can do with HighLevel. Just start with pay as you go. You don't need to commit to anything big. You can always graduate to a better option or an option that makes more sense for you in the future. You can always change your mind. So the least risky, the easiest entry point for a beginner, just assume I'm going to use conversation AI and pay as you go. Boom, done. Let's move forward. However, we also have this summer of AI promotion right now where you can get access to the AI employee, that $97 level feature with all of the AI sub features. You can get access to that for free. That is ending this month. So we only have a couple more days of that offer. But you might as well try that, right? Start out there, get access to all these different awesome features for free, save that 97 bucks a month. Click around, play around. You may find some value in them. You can always downgrade if you decide that it's not right for you. Okay. Does that answer your question, by the way, JB, in a way that it, resolves confusion? Do you see any comments or any other confusions about that? Oh, JB, did I lose you?
No, I just didn't want to get in your way, man. I didn't want to
Oh,
take up space on your slide. You put a lot of effort into this, so you know you're teaching
yeah,
us, and
yeah.
I don't want to be a distraction.
Cool. Okay, let me keep moving forward then. The question is this worth it, or how do we make sure that this is worth it, really? So, we're going to get into just a very, very basic little mindset, hypothetical thought experiment to start thinking about the value proposition of the AI social media handler and how we can talk about it, whether it's to our own company or whether it's to a prospective client's company about the value that we're going to be providing via installing this AI social media handler. We simply do the math by asking this question: if we made just one more sale per month, what would that look like? So, this is the thought experiment. Imagine asking yourself or your client, if you were to make just one more sale per month, what would that look like? What would that do for your business, right? And a really pivotal and something that's been really helpful for me when thinking through sales positioning, which is what we're doing here. This is what's called sales positioning, is trying to use hyper conservative numbers. If we use the most conservative numbers, then we can be confident that we're under promising and over delivering. So if we say, like, let's take the worst case scenario. If the worst case scenario is still really good, then obviously then we're going to be really, really happy moving forward, knowing that probably it's going to be better than the worst case scenario, right? And obviously the worst case scenario is relative, but that's why we like to use conservative numbers. So we don't ask what would happen if you made 10 or 20 more sales next month. We ask what would happen if you just made one, right? Let's use a conservative number of one. And here's a great example. Let's take an executive coaching program where they charge $1,000 a month for a 3-month program, meaning the lifetime value, it probably is more than this if they have um, ascensions or long-term retention or graduation type of offers or upsells. But let's just say, for the simplicity of the math, that this coaching program, hypothetical business, has a lifetime value of $3,000 every time it makes a sale. When we ask that question, what would that business be willing to pay in order to make one more sale per month? That's the same question, right? What would that look like if you were able to make that one sale and get that $3,000? This is a way of turning it into apples to apples in terms of what would they pay in order to get $3,000 a month. Now it's just money in, money out. What would you pay to get $3,000 a month? That's an easier question to ask, and that's kind of a simple, basic approach to sales positioning. Plus, there's this added benefit that, is on the side, but money saved or time saved on a setter. We can compare this to what it would look like if you tried to tackle this problem the same way, solve the same problem that the AI social media handler is going to solve. But what if we tried to solve that with a real hire? Or what if we tried to solve that in any other way? We would have to get a human involved, either get some agency involved or some representative into there, and then they wouldn't be 24/7. They wouldn't be as reliable. Humans are always slower, always less reliable. It'd probably be way more expensive, and then we'd have to spend time managing them, poring over their messages and having calls with them to make sure they're representing us the right way. It would just be a whole headache. So when we go the route of trying to compare it to what would it look like compared to if we just tried to handle all of our DMs with humans, we can see that a lot of businesses who currently are trying and struggling with that, they probably have some employee who's supposed to be covering those channels. We can save them that headache now. Have that employee do something more valuable for their time, more in line with their passion. Just have AI handle the messages, etc. So there's all sorts of different ways to position this in terms of making it increasing the perceived value to the business that's going to be benefiting from it. But I'm curious to ask folks in the chat, based on this, do this kind of thought experiment in your own head with your own business or your own industry that you're familiar with, a sales process that you're familiar with. And if you're not familiar with any business, if you're a true beginner, then just Google it. Go think of a business that you like, and go Google what's the average sale price for someone in this industry, etc. And think through, if you were able to provide a business with an AI social handler, one more sale a month, what would make the most sense to charge for it? We have folks who are doing this in our community already right now. And so I'm going to show you exactly what they are charging for it. But a great other examples include like wellness space, like med spas and chiropractors. They be charging many four figures to their clients over the lifetime of that. So to get noticed on social media and convert a new client from those activities many times means $4, 5, $6,000 to them. So yeah, think through this for your own industry. And I don't know your industry as well as you do, so you're going to be the one to answer this question. And then once you have that idea of this is what that business stands to gain, this is what they would gain from it, what would it make sense for them to pay for it? The truth is, folks in our community are charging for conversation AI services anywhere from 147 to 497 or more per month. And that includes data. When you're on SaaS mode, we actually have a way to pass on that 2 cents per message to the client. So you can actually not have to worry about the volume. Like if they send 100 messages versus 1,000, do I need to charge this much or this much? You can actually just get out of the way of that and pass on the data charges so that your fee is truly just the fee for you providing the service in the first place. Folks charge even more than 500 bucks a month, and people typically graduate up based on the experience that they have with it. And so when you have your first client that you work with, and let's say you work with them for way cheaper than you should have, and then you're seeing the results that they've gotten, the excitement that they have about the way it's operating and what it's able to provide for them. And, you're like, wow, you're making like an extra X amount of dollars per month. I think I could probably charge a little bit more for this. That's how we see people in the community becoming more and more confident with raising their prices to get even well above 497 a month. And the other cool thing about this is that that's just the entry point. Whether you're trying to do this for your own business or for a client's, the AI social media handler is our entry point. We like that. We like being focused to have a clear path forward. But once you do kind of start to see results with this, or once you do have your feet wet, your hands dirty, you have some experience, there's so many other things that you can do with HighLevel. And when you have a business on HighLevel, all of those other features are just a click away. So, AI social handler ascension, the way that we can use this as just the entry point into taking over other services, providing more and more value, like I said, we have that whole social planner that can allow you a great way to get involved with the actual content strategy, whether you're a content creator, a creative person, or if you're just kind of managing the schedule and getting them organized with their categories and their posts and their analytics, reposting their most popular videos. There's all sorts of awesome organizational pieces for all their social media. You can get involved in the organic content. You can run ads on those platforms. We have our own ad manager where you hook up the social media account and can launch an ad from inside of HighLevel. And it's way easier and more effective than going through the actual Meta platform or Google's platform, because you can do Google as well. Partnerships, we have an affiliate manager. That's a whole software that generates affiliate links, has profiles, takes care of all the crediting the right affiliate to the right ambassador or whatever. So if you're trying to do partnerships or an ambassadorship program on social media, HighLevel has the technical tools. It's just the software features that you need in order to make sure that you're attributing the right leads to the right partners, etc. So we can get you involved in that. Every good bio page has a link, right? Every good business has a bio that says link, and that it sends you to a link tree or to their home site or whatever. And HighLevel has all the tools to actually help you address and improve those aspects as well. So getting more into the website management of things. And then obviously SMS, WhatsApp, and email, following up with your leads, creating that direct marketing channels, uh, and maximizing, leveraging those direct marketing channels to create a beautiful marketing ecosystem. So important for any business that's generating leads, regardless of where they're coming from, whether it's social media or a website, they're buying them from Zillow or whatever. You need to be following up with your leads. And HighLevel, that's the best thing HighLevel does, honestly. And then appointments with HighLevel calendars, super straightforward. Sales with HighLevel payments. There's all these different areas of the platform where HighLevel can just with a couple of clicks of a button, just make things a little easier for the business. If they're currently using Calendly and Zapier and Acuity to try to get their appointments taken care of, and MailChimp for their email, whatever, we can just kind of start replacing those tools with a simple system that integrates with itself, that's all in one place, right? That's kind of the ascension model for how the AI social handler can be just the first step toward helping that business really improve its marketing in a lot of different ways. So we're getting close to the end. Let's talk about your path to success here with the AI social handler. What do we do with this information? What do we do with this amazing value proposition that we've just gone over? There's two types of people on this call. You've heard me reference them quite a bit here. The first is you're trying to use this for your own business. You're working in a business, you're either an owner, maybe a team lead, marketing manager, something like that. And you're on this call because you want your own business to succeed. There are also people on this call who are hoping to work with other businesses, master, and then resell this service to those businesses and create more like an agency model or a reseller. Both of you are in the right place. Some of you are both of those things. You maybe own a business, but you also have a network that you're maybe interested in reselling to after you see success with your own business. That's completely appropriate. We see people succeed with that all the time. For person one, it's going to be really straightforward. You're going to want to show up tomorrow and learn tech setup and deployment, learn exactly what buttons to click, and I'm going to show you. And then you're going to launch and iterate and lean on support resources, which we are going to cover again. For person two, you're going to do all of those things, but you also probably have an additional hurdle to face, which is how to get clients. You need to get some opportunities. Some of you already have clients, good for you. Some of you have a great network of closely related people who are going to be shoe-ins. That's great for you. For people who are not that, true beginners, and looking to start prospecting to get their first opportunity to actually make a difference and make an impact with an AI social handler, we have entrepreneurial resources for you. And I'm going to go over those really quick. And I'm going to give you one more tip right here, which is actually just to do your first for free. I know we just went through all of the value proposition and how valuable the service is and how people quickly realize that they're undercharging and gain confidence in growing, in raising their prices, basically, right? We want to do that for sure, but the most important thing that we can do is gain experience. And so we have seen people succeed in the community really fast by doing their first 1 to 3 for free in exchange for marketing, getting on a Zoom call, talking about the results that they've gotten, and getting you experience actually implementing this. If you have a trusted person in your community or someone you're connected to that you can just do even like the first month or two for free, that can kind of sidestep a lot of the sales development that a lot of businesses have to go through before they're charging high ticket prices for their services, because high ticket sales, or just sales in general, is an art. And so a lot of people on this call, you're already very skilled at sales. You've got a lot of experience. You know what you're doing already. But for me personally, I know when I got into this industry, I had no sales experience. And um, for me, this was like a little hack. And for a lot of people who are not very sales oriented, it's like a hack to be able to just get experience fast. Just do your first client or two for free. You get awesome content out of it when you post on social media that your client just made however many sales or however many dollars based on their conversations that you're handling for them. It makes it really easy to kind of let that do the talking for you, and then you can get on a call and raise your prices in the future. And you also just build confidence in the value and efficacy of the service that you're providing, which changes the way that you talk about it, which changes the way you value it. But it can be a really fast momentum builder rather than thinking I've got to figure out how to charge $500 up front for this thing. That can paralyze a lot of people. It can stop a lot of people in their tracks. And so for beginners, 1 to 3 clients for free. We have a ton of entrepreneurial resources for you, including a website and a snapshot. HighLevel, using HighLevel to sell high-level features. This website's built on HighLevel. It's got follow-up sequences, lead generation tools, a sales pipeline with follow up at each stage, calendars for bookings so you can manage a sales calendar, and ways to collect payments so you can actually conduct all of your business reselling HighLevel from inside your own HighLevel account. HighLevel's really, really good at that as well. We should be. So we've got all of that for you. Beyond that, prospecting script, a sales approach and sales script, a group presentation so that if you ever get in front of like a chamber of commerce or any kind of group of business owners at all, there's a lot of this that happens digitally as well as in person locally. We give you a white label deck to kind of talk through some of the AI employee value propositions that we've talked about today and help generate conversations for you there. And all of that can be found inside the university, which I'm going to show you on the screen in just a minute. But I do want to give a disclaimer that these resources, the snapshot, the scripts, et cetera, this is based on what we see in the community. There's a lot of different approaches to sales and client acquisition. I've had so many people come up to me and say, "Oh, I know better than your sales strategy. Like I sold cars for this long or like whatever. That's totally fine. I never argue with them at all. There's a lot of different ways and a lot of different approaches to sales and client acquisition. They are all valid to different extents in different contexts and with different personalities. So I encourage you in advance, do what works for you. Take a look at these resources if you think they're going to be helpful. But if you feel like you know what you're doing already, or if you have a better idea of the way you want to approach your client acquisition process as you build your agency, please do what works for you. We are a software company, right? We specialize in clicking the buttons to get the results using technology. We're not trying to masquerade as sales coaches here by any means. We've just compiled this based on what we've seen working in the community. So it's just there for you if you want it. Yeah, so that's the disclaimer there. And again, these are the support resources for us. Everybody should be using this. Everybody should be leveraging everything that they have available to them. First of all, that one-on-one call with our team to get your HighLevel account set up, especially if you're going to be using that snapshot. You want to make sure that you have a HighLevel account set up for yourself, right? So that you can onboard clients, etc. So that can be found at this link here. And then for resources, I am actually going to stop my share and reshare really fast because I'm going to show you exactly where to go. If you're already in agency view, you'll see this says click here to switch, and you won't see a button that says switch to agency view. It's because you're already there, and that's good. In agency view, which is where we want to be, click on university. This will take you to our full course library where you can see everything that we have, all the different playbooks on all the different topics. You can get lost in here if you really want to, but I encourage you not to at first. We are just here. I'm here to show you exactly where to get the social media handler playbook. That's the companion to this workshop. So scroll down to the bottom. It's the latest one we've got, AI Local Hero Playbook Social Media Handler. By the way, we also have the Social Media Manager Playbook on the Social Planner feature. That is somewhere in here. Do I scroll right by it? Social Media Manager Playbook looks like this. It's also in your university. Super helpful playbook. But for the purposes of this workshop, let's check out the Handler Playbook, the AI Social Media Handler Playbook. We've got a bunch of awesome, great modules, including all the stuff we went over today and all the stuff we're going to be going over tomorrow. And then this is what I really wanted to draw your attention to. Why AI social media handlers? Similar content we went over today, but this is also where the snapshot and resources are. The snapshot link, organic social posting templates, group presentation template, prospecting script, and sales strategy. All these entrepreneurial resources are right there for you. So that's all the awesome stuff that you have available to you. Your homework is to get on your kickoff call, access and review those playbooks, and then come back tomorrow to learn setup and deployment. And that's all I really got for us today. We can hit some questions. I know most of the questions we actually already tackled because it's always like, how do I get access to this playbook? That's how you do it. Go into your university. And guys, another common question that I always get, and that I think um, is people get into their university and they don't see the playbook there. If for some reason you don't see that, then that is your cue to get on your kickoff call. That's the first thing I want you to do. Get on your kickoff call and let our support rep know that you actually don't have access to that yet. There's sometimes a rare glitch that happens where we need to make sure an individual account has the access to the latest content. And so help us help you by letting us know, and we'll be happy to make sure that you have access to that playbook so that you can review it. But yeah, I think besides that, we're looking pretty good. I know we answered a lot of questions as we went, JB. Are there any others that you have for me at this time?
I'm just looking on the screen. So it looks like here. No, it looks like we have a couple questions around voice AI, which we can. I think the biggest thing here, folks, is some of the questions that I'm seeing here have to do with the AI employee as a whole, with getting it initially set up. Happen when it comes to the snapshot and installing it, is there anything in addition to that? They need to have their AI employee on if they're going to use the voice and the conversation AI. They need to install the chat widget on their website or connect their social media to it.
Mhm.
Is there anything else that you can think of that integration wise that we should be covering?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna cover that stuff tomorrow for sure, like in
Okay.
depth, exactly how to turn on the AI and like literally just showing you what buttons to click. So show up tomorrow with a second screen or another device or whatever, ready to just click buttons with me. It's really not that complicated. You just have to know which ones to click, right? That's the way I learned, and that's the way I teach. So we're gonna be covering that more in depth tomorrow. When it comes to voice AI, we've got a whole playbook on voice AI. I highly recommend check out the university. Go to the local hero playbook on voice receptionist that covers voice AI in depth. And then if you have more questions about that, pop into your support call, your kickoff call. Our support team will be happy to make sure that you're moving forward with your specific situation, with your use case, with what you're trying to get out of high level. But we won't cover, a ton of voice AI on this workshop just because we're focused on other things. Um, but yeah,
All right, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. Comment below if you'll be here tomorrow. You better be. You should be. We'll all be. Let's do it. Take care, y'all.
bye.